This is my review on Love Island Season 8, Episode 29 of the USA one. I feel like Melanie is extremely delusional when she said her and Sincere aren't toxic. So if you're not toxic, what are you? Think this is a normal relationship? I think Corbin is very delusional to think that him and Parmida's relationship is a strong connection. When it's built on lust, I don't believe it is going to last long anyway. I will be surprised. They can prove me wrong by actually being together when the reunion comes around, because I don't believe that they will still be together. So glad that America voted Carl back in because he's perfect for Anaya. Obviously, we have to still keep our, who's about us or whatever the word is, because that happened with Kenny as well, where he was pretending to be the perfect man. And I feel like when people say that golden retriever BS, it doesn't really work out in the end, because Janae was lying to her audience, and so was Kenny to a certain degree. Janae was lying, acting like Kenny was perfect when she knew he wasn't behind closed doors. Obviously, it came out on Beyond the Villa. However, Kenny turned out to be a racist, and they said alleged Trump support, all this other stuff that came out. But yeah, I agree with TT. Her and Casey are perfect together because you're both as mad as each other. Yeah. Hell yeah. I feel like Sincere is extremely pressed because the Islanders have called out, especially Parmida called out Sincere's behaviour, and also how Melanie deserves better, because he's thinking, oh, how dare someone tell you that, you deserve better than me when I'm basically treating you like a bag of garbage anyway. One thing about Zach, he's going to downplay it and basically do that whole thing of, oh, it's not that deep, it's not that deep to you. But Sincere is a compulsive liar and he needs to be called out about it. I'm glad Corbin called him out about it, but at the same time, is he having these same conversations with Casey? Is he having these same conversations with Zach, who are also villains as well? Corbin is also another villain, but Zach is the main villain. How he gets away with it, I don't know. The issue with a lot of people in the villa is that they're not being honest with themselves and they're not being honest with their partners. Well, if they were, they wouldn't have this issue, transparency issue as well, where the partners are trying to read between the lines, trying to decode every word they say. Kenzie's crying because I think she's hurt by Melanie calling her out on this. Obviously, if it was anyone else that she wasn't close to, I think it would be different in regards to, like, if it wasn't the girls and it was just the guys that said it. I don't think it would be hurting this much though. But I didn't remember them being best friends in the villa either. Like, were they that close before, or am I just forgetting? It's finally time for another challenge, and it's the couples karaoke. Shout out to Ariana Maddox, her stylist. They never miss. They need to get a bonus for this season as well for the outfits that they've created. I feel like Parmida is growing on me, because we wouldn't have seen this side of Corbin if he was with Kenzie, but I feel like he's able to loosen up and be, or maybe show his corny or, you know, less interesting side to Parmida, rather than trying to act like, yeah, I'm a cool guy and just like that and whatever. He finally let loose. Next is Tiara and Casey, and they start playing Marvin Gaye. I forgot who he sings Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I forgot the woman, but I know that she died of cancer. Sorry to be a downer on everyone, but yeah, that's all I remember. Her name, because I think it's Tammy or something, but yeah, she was less than 20 years old, I believe. The point is, Casey basically loosened up in the end. At the beginning, he was kind of frigid with it. He was very like, ooh, very stiff. Then afterwards, he kind of loosened up and was able to kind of be his full self and immerse himself in the experience. I feel like Tiara did amazing. Then we had Zach and Kada, and they were singing, I think it was Diana Ross. Zach, I don't know if he actually fully believes that he can sing. Don't know who told him that anyway. I'll forever be side-eyeing him. It was a good performance though. It's very intense, like with the eye contact and stuff, like. But yeah. Then we had Melanie and Sincere, and the song was very suited because Sincere does need to shape up and, be a man. But we'll see how that goes. The performance was alright. I don't think they really did much. The movements kind of reminded me of like a High School Musical theatre-esque type performance, but I wouldn't be surprised because of the song that was playing was from Greece. Next we had Anaya and Carl, and I would say Carl made me laugh at the beginning with the way he was acting and stuff, like on the stage, and really trying to look into the performance, but they act like an old married couple. Then next was Bryce and Trinity, and they started performing Chris Brown. I'm like, poor choice of music, because Chris Brown is a known abuser, and I will ruin this moment 100%. The issue I had was the performance wasn't making any sense compared to Trinity's moves. Like, Bryce turned into like Justin Timberlake, and I was really confused as to what was going on there. I understand he's meant to be acting as Chris Brown, but yeah. Glad everyone had fun with the performance. Lastly, we had Dylan and Kenzie, and they gave Strictly Come Dancing. That's the type of vibe they came with. I think they did really well, and they really meshed together during the performance. So the winners were crowned, and they said the winners were Dylan and Kenzie, and they locked in their votes, so they ended up winning. And because of that, they basically weren't able to be eliminated from the villa, because they said afterwards now there'll be a dumping, and obviously based on what America thinks of people that are going to stay and go, or the strongest couple, the last three were Kenzie, and Dylan, Parmida and Corbin, and then it was Zach and Kada. But because Kenzie and Dylan won the competition, they didn't get eliminated. I didn't think that was fair, to be fair, but I think also Corbin and Parmida, they deserve to go. I think the next couple that deserve to go after that is Kenzie and Dylan, because I don't believe their connection at all. Sorry, before that, even Melanie and Sincere need to go, but also it's like it's a tie as well, because obviously I know people are still angry at Casey, rightfully so, but he does have a connection with TT, and we need to think about that when we're actually putting this down to voting as well. Even though Melanie and Sincere have a connection, it's not a healthy connection, so I don't know about that one. Also, I think Kenzie and Dylan, Sincere and Melanie need to go home. But yeah, I did like how Corbin started getting a bit emotional at the end as well, and I'm thinking finally opening up after how long we're actually seeing you through the cracks. And someone said I didn't know AI could cry. I can't lie, that had me busted up. I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, I hear it as well, because he's very with how he does his stuff.